Gameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Sit next to Rafael Fernandez, and he's going to bring you his top 32 defenses for fantasy football this year, 2011 season. So let's just start right off with the number one defense, and I'm guessing it is not the Dome Patrol of the New Orleans Saints of the mid-90s. Early 90s.
Early 90s, yeah. At number one, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, the most physical defense in the league. They rush the passer like no other, and they're a defense that just causes turnovers and causes havoc. And that's what you want out of your defense.
Yeah, that's a great defense to start off number one with. Number two.
Number two, I have the Baltimore Ravens, who just like the Steelers, are a physical defense that likes to put pressure on the quarterback. And anytime you have a defense that puts pressure on the quarterback, that's causing turnovers, whether that be fumbles, interceptions. Teams that wreak havoc are defenses that wreak havoc on the defenses want to.
You could switch uniforms and it'd be the same roster on both teams. Both are very good defense, very similar. Number three.
At number three, I have the Super Bowl champions, the Green Bay Packers. And these are guys that were missing a lot of players last season, and they were still good. So now that they got these players back, I believe that they're going to be pretty good as well. Losing Cullen Jenkins is going to be a bigger deal than most people think. But I think they're still solid enough that when you got Clay Matthews back there, he's going to get a sack one way or the other. So, I mean, this is a solid defense to have sometimes.
Yeah, because sacks create turnovers, and turnovers equal points for fantasy football owners. Number four.
At number four, I have the New York Jets. I would have these guys higher, but the uncertainty they have on the defensive line, whether or not they'll get pressure or not, is what has me wondering how good they're going to be. But they do have great cover corners in Cromartie and Darrell Reeves. So they're going to give those defensive linemen time and those linebackers to get some pressure. And we all know Rex Ryan likes to put pressure. So this is a defense that could be better than what I have them ranked right now. And I'm definitely hoping that.
Biased fan. Number five.
At number five, I have the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, just like the Jets, they have Rex Ryan there. They have Rob Ryan here. And I think the Cowboys are going to be a defense that's going to be a lot better than they were last year. They're going to be putting more pressure. You're going to see Ware be in the backfield more than he was before, as scary as that sounds. And I think the Cowboys are going to be the defense that people are going to talk about at the end of the season. That it's going to be a little better.
It's the secondary that worries me about the Cowboys. Never has it been the front seven. Who's number six?
Number six, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, the team that everyone's talking about right now. And I think the Eagles are going to have a pretty good defense. They've always been a defense that puts pressure, and now they have great defensive backs back there to catch to get some interceptions. And that's assuming they trade away Asante Samuel. If they don't, it's even scary.
Right.
So the Eagles are a defense that can put up great numbers. I have some question marks about their linebackers, but other than that, I think the Eagles are a solid fantasy defense.
Yeah, that's a good pick right there. Good slot for the Eagles. Number seven.
Number seven, I have the New Orleans Saints, and this defense I think is going to be opportunistic, just like they were 2 seasons ago, and they put great pressure on the quarterback, and they have guys that are ball hawks back there. They're solid tacklers, and I think that they're going to be a defense that is going to put up some good numbers.
Very underrated defense. If you look at some of the additions with Cameron Jordan and also the undrafted free agent DeAndre McDaniel, allows them now to go with a 2 safety look. Both safeties now, and Jenkins and McDaniel provide a lot of pass catching ability, so any both could come up and lay the lumber, and you got like the linebacker. So New Orleans Saints should probably be one of your sleeper defenses. Number eight.
Number eight, I have the Chicago Bears, a solid defense. They're not going to put up the sexy numbers at the upper that the better defenses are going to put, but they're not going to allow you to get lose points either. So they're a defense that if you have them, they may or may not put up great numbers for you, but they're at least not going to ruin your week. They're a solid defense to have.
I like Chicago's defense, always has. Number nine.
Number nine, I have the San Diego Chargers, and this is the defense that finished number one in the league last season. And I believe it or not, I think they're going to be better this season. I mean, they added some pretty good additions, like someone like Takeo Spikes. A guy that's already near the end of his career, but he's a solid tackler and a good leader in that locker room. So he's going to make the Chargers defense even more physical than what they are, in my opinion. So that's a defense that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, one guy that should have a good year is Eric Weddle. He got paid.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. Number 10.
And number 10, I have the Houston Texans, probably my sleeper defense. And I have them this high now because I love what they did in the offseason. They signed Jonathan Joseph, and they got Daniel Manning back there to complement what I think is going to be the quietest pass rush that you'll ever see. They're going to be a real good defense come the end of the season, mark my words.
See, I would have put the Texans over the Jets because their front seven I think is a lot better than New York front seven.
I
Not
agree.
saying, but saying those guys will be able to get to the quarterback. The rookies they drafted and the depth they have on their team and the secondary issues that you mentioned they've addressed. Keep an eye on the Texans defense. Who you have at number 11?
At number 11, I have the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami Dolphins are a team that, even though they don't have such a good offense, they benefit. They're a team that stays in games because of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Solid tacklers, very physical, and they put up pretty good numbers in fantasy. They're a fantasy defense that you're going to want. Just like the Bears, they're not one that puts up sexy numbers, but they won't let your team get blown out either.
Cameron Wake still on the team?
Cameron Wake still on the team?
Love the Dolphins. Next on your list.
I have the Atlanta Falcons at number 13. And this is a defense that's going to benefit from having Ray Edwards, who's basically going to be the same player he was in Minnesota. And I think that they're going to improve on their sack numbers and be a solid defense in fantasy.
Yeah, because you look at, he's going to be the perfect wingman, like they used to say, Jared Allen, he was a wingman, and also now with Abraham, he's going to be the wingman. So that's a great place for Edwards, and I like that Falcons defense with that improvement. But it's just that one player, because everywhere else on the defense, I think they're solid. 14.
At 14, I have the San Francisco 49ers, and I would have had them higher, but I think they lost some decent players in Clements and also in Takeo Spikes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that their defense is going to take a bit of a step back, and they're not going to be probably as good as they were last season, but they still have Patrick Woods.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they're going to be good enough where, if you have them if you need to play them for a week, they'll get you some good numbers.
And they lose Abreu Franklin up front, so that's a
right.
huge loss right there.
That is a
15.
At 15, I have the New York Giants, and I think that the Giants are a team that are a defense that, you have to be careful who you play them against. But they're going to have the pass rush. If they're going up against a quarterback that's shaky, go ahead and play the Giants. If they're going up against a quarterback that isn't afraid of getting a pass rush in his face, then then don't pick the Giants. Then don't play the Giants that week. But the Giants are a good defense to play against a young quarterback, or a quarterback that gets shaken back there, like a Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm. A very solid group overall.
Mm-hmm.
Rounding out your top 32.
At 16, I have the New England Patriots, and this is a group that has improved. They added Shaun Ellis. They added a bunch of good players. And I think that they're going to be better than last season. I think those young players that were questionable last season for them are going to be better this season. So I think the Patriots are going to make a jump. Not be one of the best defenses in the league, but they're going to be pretty solid right there. They'll make the jump. I have them at 16 now. I think they finish around 8 or 9.
Yeah, it helps to add Hainsworth and also Ellis. That helps out that front three to go along with Wolfolk. So that's a good formidable front three for the Patriots. So let's take a look at the rest of your list from picks 17 through 32. For more fantasy football previews, visit footballgameplan.com/fantasy or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Gameplan radio show, which airs Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.